Hello, Packers fans. Welcome into PackersNews.com. I'm Kassidy Hill coming to you live from Lambeau Field, just about 3 hours away from the Packers' home opener against the Chicago Bears for Sunday Night Football here in Week 2. An exciting day for sure, the renewal of the NFL's oldest rivalry, but also a big game for the Packers. Their second game in a row against NFC North rivals as they look to get back to 500 after falling in Week 1 versus the Minnesota Vikings, and before heading down to Week 3 where it doesn't get any easier against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But of course tonight they have to take care of the Chicago Bears here at Lambeau Field in what is already a sold-out game. Energy has been high all around Green Bay. An exciting day for sure. There was Train, Luke Combs, a whole litany of concerts last night here in Green Bay as fans piled in to see Aaron Rodgers and these Green Bay Packers. Of course, Aaron Rodgers is going to be throwing to a couple of new guys this year, including rookies Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson. Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson had an iffy coming out party versus the Minnesota Vikings, but as Aaron Rodgers told us this week, it's going to require patience with these rookies. That's the name of the game right now, being patient, working with them, getting them acclimated into this offense as quickly as possible as the schedule doesn't get any easier. Here's what Rodgers had to say about both of those guys this week, though.
When you're working with a rookie receiver, is there anything that you're looking for specifically to know that the moment's not too big for them at that position? And what do you think as a whole of Christian and Romeo?
Just the same thing I said after the game. We got to be patient. We got to be patient with them. The most important thing we're going to be harping on is the preparation and the fundamentals and the little things. And the jump happens when you don't become a robot anymore. You understand the why and the what. Why are we doing what we're doing, and what are we trying to accomplish? And it takes a while for anybody. There's been a few guys who have kind of used training camp and the OTAs and have been maybe a little ahead in the beginning. There's some guys who haven't gotten most of the first year. So we'll see where they fall, but you got to be patient. They're talented guys. We just got to keep giving them opportunities, and when they get the chance to make plays, they got to make the plays.
What do you think is the biggest thing that you'll need to be patient with as they progress as rookies?
The fact that they're rookies. There's going to be mistakes. So hold them accountable and prepare and communicate as well as we can. But it's not thrown to older guys out there. It's young guys who are very talented, who are going to make some great plays by not actually knowing what they're doing sometimes, and there's going to be times where they don't make the right reaction, and just having patience with that, because I think by the end of the year they'll know how to figure it out.
Rodgers will presumably get Allen Lazard back tonight, though. He missed Week 1 with an ankle injury after being stepped on in practice, but he practiced all week. Lazard, offensive lineman David Bakhtiari, and Elton Jenkins were all listed as questionable on the final injury report of the week, but the feeling in the building all week has been that Lazard will play. Lazard himself says he feels fine, and this will be his debut as the Packers' #1 receiver following the trade of Davante Adams. But as Lazard told us this week, that's nothing new.
I've been a #1 receiver my whole life until I came to the NFL, so I don't know why I would change my mental view from that standpoint just because I got to the league and there's other guys around here. And that standpoint now, from a depth chart standpoint, obviously it's been different and more clear, but that doesn't mean I should change my mentality, I feel like, as far as how I go about my business.
Yeah, man, that's mini-me right there.
High school. Me and my best friend, Brian Lillard, started staying at the top when we were about 16 years old. We started getting Division I offers. And at that time, we were really the only kids in our school, the Greater Des Moines area, that was receiving national attention from that regards. He was playing baseball, obviously, me with football. So we started saying that we live in our lives at the top. And that just kind of helped us put a title or a name to like how we had our mindset and how we went about our business every single day, of just knowing that we just had to wake up and be the best version of ourselves regardless of whatever yesterday had happened or whatever the future holds. That we just got to be able to live in the moment and stay positive.
I feel like that kind of encompasses like what you were talking about, like believing you're the #1 no matter what.
Absolutely. I think it's a great representation of just putting a title to it, in a sense of just like what my mindset has always been and my belief in myself.
See some questions coming in about Alan Lazard. As we said, he was listed as questionable. We will know a little bit closer to the game if he will be playing or not. Inactives will be announced 90 minutes before kickoff. We also find out about Bakhtiari and Jenkins at that time as well. But on the flip side of the ball, the defense has got a tough test in Justin Fields. He is labeled, understandably so, as a dual threat quarterback for what he can do on the scramble and on the run and with his legs. But this defense knows that when he scrambles, he's just as much of a threat downfield as he is using his own legs.
Quarterback, hands down, to where like the quarterback can do a lot for them. Extend plays, so we got to work on plaster and doing all the little things that you don't really think about, especially dealing with a quarterback that can get out the pocket, move, and actually run.
You've also got Justin Fields, who I mean is justifiably so like labeled as a dual threat. But when you label a quarterback as a dual threat, you kind of forget what kind of passer he can be.
No, absolutely not. Because as he's running around back there, he's also made some good throws while on the move, while outside of the pocket. So as the back end, we gotta be willing to play as long as he's running around. So like I said, it'll be a challenge for us, but we'll be up to it.
When you rush Justin Fields, is there any unique style or characteristic of your rush that you need to apply to keep him from getting outside the pocket?
You just want him to keep him contained. He's a guy who can make a lot of big plays with his feet. And we know if we give him any running lane, he'll take off and he can do some damage to opposing defense.
Not giving Justin rush lanes, I mean, that's easier said than done. How much do you just have to keep an eye on him every time he takes the snap?
You just got to be conscious of where you're at and where he's at, and what you're doing to make sure that we don't, like you said, you just got to be conscious of where he's at on the field. Anytime you're on the field and you're rushing when he has the ball back and when he's dropping back, and just make sure that you don't give him nothing that can hurt us. We gotta let them earn every big play in any yard. We gotta make sure they go out there and earn every inch they get.
As we said, a big test tonight for the Packers against the Bears, and the Packers know that, especially after starting with a loss against the Vikings. But this week in the locker room was still loose and fun, as always. Let's take you inside the locker room with us. Here's the best of the locker room in week 2. Okay. I can't do it, so that seems really impressive.
I love Bill's not wearing a hat today, so I can clearly see that he has a lot of hair on his head.
That's right. It's not a bad haircut, is it?
It's very nice.
Thank you. I'll tell my wife, she gave it to me.
It's a very good job.
Thanks. I'll tell her.
This is humor. Go.
Missing that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Trying to strip the ball loose.
Did y'all's time cross over at Georgia?
Did our time?
Yeah, you and Justin.
Yeah, he was there my sophomore year. That was his freshman year. He was the one that messed up my pinky.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened with that?
It was a scrimmage. It was one of our scrimmages, and I broke up a little 5-yard hitch or whatever. And yeah, I came to the sideline. My finger was like this or whatever. And then I asked somebody on the sideline, like, "Yo, should I get this looked at?" He was like, "Yeah." And then that's when the trainer came over there, pulled it and all that stuff. Yeah, he said it was broken, all that stuff. So pulled it. I had surgery on it and all, but yeah, this is my finger.
Does he know that?
Yeah, I always, every time, pretty much like every time that we see each other, I always tell him like, "Yo, like you was the one that messed up my pinky and all that stuff." So I never forget like Justin pretty much for that.
Nothing like that, That's what I deal with, man. Anyways.
Pick off Justin on Sunday. Are you holding up your pinky as you run by?
Oh, that's a good. Hey, appreciate that. I might actually hold up the pinky and say, "Yeah, I got you."
Permanently like that now?
Yeah, it's permanently like that. I can't strain it or I can't bend it. So that's the best I got.
It's just one hand, really.
So like, what
You're
are you
just
doing
doing
with the
that the
second
whole
one?
time. Huh?
What are you doing with the second hand?
Well, then that's when you add in the third ball. So you're doing this, and then
225.
For that time, and like I said, everything happens for a reason.
Thank you for tuning in. I know there are some comments still coming in. We'll go back in and reply to those in the comments as well, so look out for the answers there. And of course, like I said, inactives will be announced 90 minutes before kickoff, so look for Ryan Wood's story on that. And then make sure to follow Tom Silversine's blog all throughout game day, before kickoff, during the game, and after kickoff as well. Then stay tuned to PackersNews.com for full coverage of the Packers' Week 2 game against the Chicago Bears.